And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to another edition of VWE Live, where I will be your co-host for this illustrious session. The most recognized voice in SL Sports Entertainment today, the voice of Detroit, Natasha Grimmore.
And I'm the voice of sanity herself, Myra Murdoch.
As we have a lot to go over, but always, as always, folks, those of you just viewing or, just to kind of go over it, if you want to sit here and add your comments and or questions, especially for our guest today, just go to Twitter and Twitter your comment and or question and hashtag VWE Live, and we will get those not only on the screen, but maybe even commented, read out loud for you folks. So, but now it seems like, I know I wasn't there for it, but it seems that GOAT is once again up to its old trick, so to speak, but have finally hit a roadblock with the Eliminator, Seth Cameron. Now, I wasn't there, but Myra, you were there for that.
Yes, I was. And up until the point, I believe it was not last week, but the week before, to where Seth was wanting a title shot against Knight's United States Championship belt. They finally got it, but to the point, it was a very, very close tie with the both of them. I mean, with Seth's experience under his belt, but with more, Knight's agility and or, I don't want to say spontaneousness, but his more unique reputation when it comes to it. But sadly, Knight was able to retain his title against Seth Cameron. Oh, so sadly.
So more like, it would be more of like Knight's youthfulness and, throwing caution to the wind type of attitude.
Yeah, I wouldn't say reckless, but more, like you said, more just throwing caution in the wind, so to speak.
No, this has been kind of, well, there is that too. But I know that, with the way that GOAT has been going on, especially with, trying to humiliate and poking and prodding the Eliminator, it led up to this, and, what ended up happening, in the match, did Seth end up beating him, or did Knight retain?
Pretty much. Like I said, it was a very close call in the match itself, but Knight did retain his title against Seth, and that kind of speaks volumes, so to speak, especially knowing Seth Cameron, the Eliminator, with all that experience under his belt, a 5-time world champion, I believe.
Well, we're never going to really hear the end of it now especially out of Knight. I mean, I honestly believe that he has them bragging rights. I mean, as much as I don't like GOAT, I will say this, though, is he definitely has come up from, out of the training center, right into Pulse, coming out of Pulse, Pulse champion, and then coming right to the main roster to getting the United States Championship. And Knight is somebody to look out for, but his cockiness may end up proving to be his downfall. But, I mean, he has that right, at least in my opinion.
I suppose, but so to speak, he kind of just flauntlessly puts it everywhere. There's an extent to bragging rights, so to speak. But if he wants to take it into his own type of terms, and by all means, there's no really stopping him. I mean, Lord knows people have tried.
Well, regardless, it looks like and it goes to that point where it's like old school taking on new school, and obviously, at this point, at least in the starting offs, New School has won that battle, but I highly doubt the war is over. Can the New School handle what old school can bring, and that's going to be the question that you guys are going to have to watch as the weeks to come and see if GOAT really is the greatest of all time. Now, as we're going to go ahead and move, now there was an announcement made by VWE on Twitter about the historical event that we were talking about, that we have been talking about as of late, and that is the Tag Team Classic, the mixed tag teams that are going to be going on and here soon. And actually tonight, we're going to reveal the first team.
Ooh, I can't wait. I mean, like you said, with it being less than a month away, I'm excited to at least figure out what the first team is.
And that's going to be the thing, is for sure, there's going to be a lot of different mashups and going on. But, you know, as the weeks go on, we'll be revealing more teams. But here is a team that we're going to announce tonight. I mean, we could talk all day about their accomplishments, but it's going to be Masaki Yamako and Derek Colt being the first team to be announced. And honestly, I feel that this is going to be a team to actually look out for, both going against and looking at winning the Tag Team Classic.
Ooh, so to speak, especially with knowing Derek's capability. Excuse me. But yeah, that's a very, I would say a very dangerous pair right there already. I mean, we've seen what Misaki's capable of, we see what Derek's capable of, but Lord only knows what these two are capable of together. Oh, that's already sending chills down my spine.
Well, I think what ended up happening at this point is because they share a manager, Austin Knight, and I wouldn't doubt that he pulled some strings there to get these two, you know, and it's a good business call. I'm not downing him for that business call, getting these two together, getting his two clients together. I mean, you don't want your client, you know, mixing around with somebody that isn't your client, if you know what I mean.
Or in a better case, you don't want your client mixing up with someone else you possibly don't have on your payroll and or can control, so to speak. Kind of wants
exactly
to keep this in his own personal little field, so to speak. And a lack of a better term, I suppose.
But that's definitely going to be interesting. But who are the other teams that's going to be, you know, matchup is, yeah, as you know, we have, you know, DIE in that mix. You've got WPWF in that mix. And right now, though, it's looking like, you know, VWE is pairing up VWE. But that's not always going to be the case, especially with WPWF being an all-female fed.
True. Very, very true.
So that is for sure going to be really awesome to see what kind of mixtures are going to come out of this, let alone what else is going to be. I mean, what I'm excited about this whole Tag Team Classic anyway, and what kind of combinations are going to be really brought out. So, but y'all, you're gonna have to stay tuned though and find out who these other teams are, because I believe that they will be announced. In once a day, I believe. So you're going to have to definitely, yeah, it's going to be one team a day. I'm getting confirmed here that one team each day. So you're going to have to wait and find out and see, hey, is your favorites going to be teamed up, and you know what kind of craziness it's going to be.
Oh yeah.
So nonetheless, folks, pay attention to that Twitter and find out if your favorite superstar or Bombshell get teamed up. So now we're moving on to the Coda and Quota updates, which we've been giving to you guys, you know, each week, and I believe this is week 3 of the Coda and Quota matches. Am
Oh
I
yeah.
correct? Okay.
Hmm.
Just wanted to make sure that was correct. As each bracket, is looking really, for a couple of the people looking really good. Um, but it's going to start boiling down to the wire. As for the male side of this, as we have, at least in Group A, we have Michael Carson and Jeffrey Fireguard still tied with 4 points. But Drake Edwards is sneaking up behind there with a win, I believe, over Kieran. Correct me if I'm wrong there,
Uh,
Myra.
yeah.
Okay. As he's got 3 points, so he's just kind of a tail end behind both Jeffrey and Michael. But Kieran Darkwatch is trailing behind with no points whatsoever. Now in Group B, we have Hamaso and Benja Nirvana, which is going to be our guest here, as both have 3 points, as we have Pafo and Wolfie with none at this point. Now it might end up being Hamaso and Benja going down to the wire, but at the same time, there's still a few matches left to go. Now in Group C, we have David Hawk Actor that pulled away with a win against the Crisis with 6 points, which we stated last week. But the Crisis had another hurdle to go over in the German sensation Ludi Graves. And honestly, at this point, he was out to prove there, Myra, that he wasn't your favorite patient, wasn't exactly all he was cracked up to be.
Pretty much. And which I stated is like, that's all fine and dandy. I'm just telling you how it is. If you want to take it as more of a threat, then be my guest.
But nonetheless, I think he was rather surprised that the Crisis took him to a time limit draw, and both of them receiving 1 point and being tied now for second place in their group with 4 points. And then we have Group D, which we have a 3-way tie going in this, as we have Jason Rain, Derek Colt, and Kurt Bombastic all with 3 points. Now, once again,
Here's the thing, though. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to point it out there. There is a certain advantage that Jason actually carries. He's gotten the 3 points on his first match. Mind you, Kurt and Derek managed to get the 3 points on their second match. So this kind of gives Jason more of a little bit of an advantage in his bracket. So Derek and Kurt would have to be a little bit worried when it comes to Jason winning another 3 points.
Or, and basically another, in total, another 9 points, if he can pull that off and go away with the win. But we also have Cody Hooley with no points. But yet, there's a long way off. There's a lot of matches that are going to be given and taken. Points will be given. Points may or may not, depending on the situation. But I'm looking forward to see who is going to go into Coda in that ladder match. I mean, it really could be. It's really a right now at this point, it's still anybody's game, but it's getting down to the wire as we see a few upsets, and who knows, some of them that have been lagging behind may come back and take the win for their group. So without further ado, though, why don't you go ahead and update the fans there, Myra, on the female aspect of this.
Sure. I mean, like you said, with King of the Arena being a bloodshed of a match, or at least a show in general, it has kind of been the same thing with the women. As we have for our first bracket, we have Sierra Karasuma and Crystal both tying off with 6 points each, securing themselves in their own bracket into Queen of the Arena. As for our second bracket, though, we have Hillary Lanfear still going in at the top of her bracket with 6 points, but now with Alexandra gaining the win from tonight, she is now second place compared to her with 3 points, and Allison and Ellie, and a little bit of the latter, with both 1 point each. For the third match, we have Cheryl White tying off with Marionetta, both with 4 points, as Salida Dorana and Kitty are tied with only 1 point. And as for the final bracket, folks, we have Viola Beaumont already still at the top of her bracket, with Stacey Mancino and Riley Thomas now both tied with 3 points, as Aphrodite unfortunately has none. So that basically is starting to become a more cutthroat Queen of the Arena roster, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's getting to that point where, people are going to start trying to secure their wins. People are going to get desperate. There's some people that have been taken out. There's some people that, need that win. And I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes on because, last year at CODA, I don't know, I can't remember if you were there or not, Myra, but I was there and I saw the matches, and those ladder matches were brutal. Some people walked away with nothing. And, last year, of course, Braden Carson ended up walking away out of that with that. Not only Braden, but Viola, out of their 2 matches, definitely walked out with that contract. And now you look at them as, Braden didn't win that title on his cash-in, but he won it nonetheless. So this could be, somebody setting up and being a future champion, and this is what we're going to have to watch. But it's only going to be, unlike last year. Last year there was 6 people. Now there's only going to be 4. So it's going to be exciting to see how that works. So.
Oh, definitely.
But now we're at that spot there of, everybody has been waiting for. And at this point, I like you guys to get on Twitter and, ask your questions for this person by going on Twitter or asking on any of the social media sites that we are on, and ask your questions, hashtag VWE Live. But nonetheless, folks, I want to introduce you to Benja Nirvana. How you doing there, Benja?
Look, can we make this quick? I got a business arrangement to go to.
Well, I mean, it really depends on the fans, on their questions, how many questions they got.
Do I really even give a shit about what the fans have to ask? Seriously, I only did this because I'm contractually obligated. I just want to get this over with. Just do whatever you got to do.
Well, I mean, honestly, here's going to be my question to really start off things with, is this: why have you turned your back on, on the fans and, turn your back on everything you once held dear, so to speak?
Jesus Christ, your perception and viewing of things is so off. Look, I already told it before. That was a recorded video. The reason why I did it is because I'm sick and tired of all the bullshit going around in VWE. I'm sick and tired of everything about the politics, about everybody stabbing each other in the back. After all these years that I've fought for this company, and all of a sudden this company has changed into something that I don't like. And quite frankly, since I did something for me for once, the fans want to turn their backs on me and call me the bad guy. You know what? Fuck them. So, I don't really give a good goddamn anymore. I really don't care.
Well, I mean, some would argue that without the fans, that you would be out of a job. That's just kind of the point of it. It's kind of a give and take kind of thing. But,
out of a job, do you really think that I would be out of a job with all my legalese that I can have, that I would be out of a job? Do you seriously think that that's going to be the case?
Well, I'm not saying that, I'm talking about in wrestling. I mean, basically then it would start the process of the unemployment line. and then finding another job. I mean, granted, with a guy like you, you could get a job working 9 to 5, but I mean, you'd be out of a job, out of the
You
limelight here.
ask as if I need money. I've got more money than I could buy you and your family if I wanted to. So you know what? With your little statement there, that is pretty much null and void. Continue.
Well then, also kind of got a little thing is that you started off as a bouncer at a strip club. Is that true?
Very much so. I did it, worked my way up, found this place called XWA/VWE, and I made it to where I am today. And then pretty much you want to know how I made my money through business moves. Through big moves, movers and shakers, trying to mix things up, playing the stock markets a little bit, and also a couple of other things that's none of your goddamn business.
Well, I'm not going to not going to ask what are those extra things going on, but you know, the biggest thing I've got here now is why okay, I can understand the politics, and I can understand you not liking what you see, kind of thing. But at the same time, out of everybody, what is your deal with Vince, the world title, and how do you plan to get back in that spotlight?
That's the world title is the only reason why I'm fucking sticking around this joint. That's the only thing I want left. I've done everything there is to do here in VWE. I have reached the top of the mountain. I've won a lot of accolades, a lot of glory, but I just want one more crack at that World Heavyweight title. And it seems that Vince wants to stand in my way of doing that. Yeah, he already had the world title. He already had his shot at glory. He already had everything. But what about me? No, I had to work up. And you know what? There are people in the back that are keeping me down. Booking, management, whatever you want to name. They don't want to see the World Heavyweight title around my waist because they want to give other people a chance, aka their buddies and friends. So you know what? To take what I am goddamn owed, and that is the VWE World Heavyweight Championship. And if Vince doesn't want to get out of my way, then his little crusade, just like history, will come to an end. Next.
As we've got one from Twitter, it goes, "Hey Benja, what's the fucking deal with the cigar and the suit? You look, you finally took my fashion advice. Hashtag looking sharp."
Yeah, you know
Oh
what?
boy.
If I'm gonna be all business and everything, I might as well look the part. As far as cigars, I've been smoking them ever since I came to the VWE. You just never really saw it. So you know what? And like I said, I really don't care anymore. They want to have their little smoking problems. Tough shit. Kiss the back of my shoe. I don't care. So as far as that question, yeah, I need to look the part more if I'm going to be taken a little more seriously around here, which of course management really doesn't want to do because they're fucking afraid.
And what are they afraid of there, Benja? I mean, you
They are, shut up. They are afraid of what I can really do. Because all this time, I've been really about being goofy, having a great time, trying to do things right by the VWE. But let me ask you all a question on my behalf. What happens when you have a 7'2" person with absolutely nothing to lose and the handcuffs are off? What do you have? Go ahead, answer. Go on.
a
A whole lot of
very
nothing.
I'm
or
sorry, what? What? A whole lot of what? What's that?
Nothing.
Just like your commentary. So, Next.
Well, I mean, going on. I mean, what got you that bug? I understand that you started off as a bouncer, but what brought you into the XWA? What sparked your whole at this point I would say passion for wrestling?
That was before it was killed. Well, real simple. I met somebody through a friend in the. I used to guard people, be a bodyguard for famous people, and I met somebody through a famous person who was friends with. That person, I think you all would know, Kurt Bombastic. He's the one that brought me into this business. He's the one that got me hooked up into the XWA, and he was the one that always checked on me. But as you can see, he once again took a nice little knife, brandished it real sharp, just like everybody else in the bag, and stabbed it right in the center of my back. So, next.
Well, it kind of sounds like you're projecting. Well, I mean, it's common in the workplace. Projecting that your uh your worries and concerns on the management. So, but anyway, this one's a little more important. Is another question from VWE Live is Benji, if you could pick your dream match, who would you want to face and why?
Shit, that's real simple. Anything that can make me money. There's a lot of money to be made in some of these matches. Whether they're backstabbers, liars, whatever, kiss ups to politics, whatever. As long as it makes me more money when I walk to the bank and collect my paycheck. I don't care who it is. I don't care what type of match it is, as long as the dollar signs keep rolling in and my bank account gets more and more and more bigger. Next.
Well, definitely coming in and so basically nowadays you're in for the money, and kind of correct my statement from earlier. Yes, it was Cody Hooley. That was my bad memory lapse, but nonetheless, um, it sounds like that you're just in it for the money. You're not in it for the love of the sport at this point.
The love of the sport. The love of the sport. Listen to you. The love of the sport. Jesus Christ, you need to get a different pair of glasses because those are rose colored. The love of the sport. Listen to you. Who has a love of the sport anymore around here? All it is I want this. I want that. Oh, I like you, so I'm going to give you this. Oh, we're best friends that play, different games together and go off. Oh, I'm going to give you a title shot. Oh, please. Love of the sport.
Well, I mean,
Seriously.
there is some people in here that do this for the love of the sport, not just money. But I got a couple questions coming in from Twitter. Is Myro, why don't you go ahead and ask these?
Sure.
Yeah, please be more boring as possible.
What
Go
exactly
on.
do you think of goats?
Goat. You know what? Goat's doing the same thing I'm doing. Trying to make the best money that they can. And just because they put one person through a table, people want to freak the fuck out.
Certainly people with
Oh my
us.
god, people want to be so angry about that? Please. I've been dumped in thumbtacks before. Putting a person through a table is nothing. They want to be mad at Goat for that? Please, give me a goddamn break. As far as Goat's concerned, they're alright. They don't stand in my way. They're cool. Next.
So making money, huh? Oh, I'm sure a match with the German sensation would make a shitload of money, but you're not awesome.
Yeah, would you like to say that with a little bit more enthusiasm, sweetheart? Yeah, as far as Ludi Graves goes, you know what? I don't really care. He's come back. I don't really give a flying good goddamn. Whatever he wants, he can have a match with me as long as it makes a little extra money in the paycheck. That's fine. Mm, but as you know, people have been having problems with their jaws lately when it comes to around me. So he better, if he likes his jaw the way it is, stay the fuck out of my way.
Well, kind of ask this question, seeing how we are on the road to King of the Arena, as you uh were the first ever King of the Arena winner, if that is correct. Now, how are you looking at your chances now, this year, with all the talent that's coming up?
There is no chances. Let me tell you exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to go to the King of the Arena once again, be involved in that ladder match with that briefcase hanging up high, and I'm going to get my World Heavyweight title shot because management will not put me in a World Heavyweight title shot unless I have a little bit of leverage, and that being the briefcase. I don't care about the crown. I don't care about the throne. I don't care about the scepter. I've already been king of the arena. I was the first ever king of the arena. I only care about what the hell's in that briefcase. Everything else makes no goddamn sense to me. Just like an English lumberjack. So, next. And
Well,
speed it up.
I'm going as fast as I can. I
I ain't
mean,
got much time. Speed it up.
like going as fast as I can, as definitely going into Coda, and now all of a sudden this tag team classic that goes in. I mean, with the tag team classic, is there any teams that you would like to see getting mixed up together?
I'm gonna be overseas on a business arrangement. I'm not even gonna be planned to be in that thing. I could really care less who's in it. I could really care less who wins it. I don't care. There's nothing or anything that's gonna get my attention in that. So, next.
Well, coming in, I mean, obviously, other than yourself, with the whole Coda series matches, you were in it last year. Uh, if it's not you, who do you think is going to win? Outside the obvious yourself, what would be your second pick?
Oh, please tell me. No, 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 no. Tell me your pick. Please go ahead. Tell me yours and make it wisely.
Well,
Well, he
I
did
mean,
ask you first.
As your friend, let me follow my nails. There's gonna be no pick. It's gonna be me. There's gonna be me, and that's all there is. Next.
well then, wow. As going through, apparently you have really offended the fans, because, yeah. But nonetheless, I know you don't care, and that's going to be the thing. Is eventually, it's going to be, you know,
Fans don't give money matches in title shots.
oh boy, as here comes a good set of questions, or a good question is basically going to do. We're gonna kind of play. And I'm actually curious on this.
Oh, Lord.
Who would you do? Who would you marry? And who would you kill? Myra, Brooke Owens, or Christina?
I'd do the world a favor and kill Myra. She seems bored of this world already. Let's see. Mary? Uh, I'd marry Christina. She seems like a good person. So I'd marry her, plus her star power, my business acumen. Wouldn't make a bad combination. Fuck Brooke Owens with a gun to my head. Next.
We got another question that came in from Twitter going, you got a world title match after I beat you at Frostbite, and you complain about not getting title matches?
And let me guess. Is that from Cody? Is that from Cody?
Well, you can.
Cody had his time. Cody had the World Heavyweight title when he did his God thing. So you know what? Irrelevant. Next.
Well then, definitely not making this very comfortable. Now going in, I mean, you obviously have been. I mean, you've taken on all the greats in your time here at, in your pretty much in your whole career. But who would you like to bring back? I mean, out of all of them that have been retired, that have been, or taken out, who would you like to bring back? And other than for dollar signs.
Sweet Jesus, your vision isn't the only thing that's lacking. Nobody. Have you noticed? Everybody's been stabbing everybody in the backstage. You just don't see it outside in the ring. You really think I want to bring somebody else back so they can have another knife in their hand? Please. The answer's nobody. Next.
Why do you get this feeling that everybody is stabbing you in the back? I mean,
I'm sorry. Do you see everybody? Do you see how many friends I had when I was trying to do the right thing? Do you see how many people I had that had my back when I was getting beaten down or anything like that? No, they were all concentrated on themselves. Do you really need to ask that question? You're retarded. Next, please.
Well, this comment came in from Twitter going, if it wasn't for the fans, there wouldn't be any matches, money, or other else, Benja.
Oh, boo frickin' who? VWE would have to shut down. Oh, no. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, I may only have to take 5 limo rides instead of 6. Next.
As this next one coming in from Twitter going, you had your time. You were the world champion, but it seems you forgot your title reign as well, like all of us did. Retire.
I'll retire when I get my World Heavyweight title once again, and I know who that's from. Boy, you had your time in the sun. You've been World Heavyweight Champion 3 times because management loved that you called yourself God. Now, sit down. Next.
I mean, if it is exactly as you say, that management loves the people that they're giving titles to, wouldn't you think this attitude and blaming management, don't you think that would hinder your chances at getting a world heavyweight title shot?
Oh, I tried to play nice. I tried to do it the right way. I tried to be the good guy, tried to fight for the company and everything, and what did it get me? All it got me was lost chances, double talk, and basically told, "Oh, we need to make new people. You've been here for 8 years and only had one world title run, but we need to make new people. So go get fucked, Bencha." Yeah, see how much that got me. Next.
For fuck's sake, is that all you're going to be doing? Is complaining, oh, I got my backstab. I had all these friends. Ooh, Cody made an ass of me, boo-hoo. Brayden made an ass of me, boo-hoo. And now Vince made an ass of you, boo fucking hoo, Benja.
I'm sorry,
Who
could you
gives a
put your
shit?
cell phone down when you talking to me instead of, you know, being doing whatever you're doing on your cell phone, maybe playing Candy Crush or whatever? You know what? That's the most enthused I've ever heard of you ever since you joined this company. Please. At least I'm doing mine with enthusiasm, sweetheart.
In what? Being more of a joke than Brayden?
I'm sorry, you want to talk about jokes? Let's talk about your commentary. Now,
By all
continue.
means, Benja.
Go on. Continue. Go on. Time's money here.
As we got another comment coming in going, because management loved it. Nah, because I out wrestled you every day of the week, twice on Sundays. Go back to the dungeon, kid.
Oh, Cody, you just won't sit down and be quiet. Listen, kid. You came up with a gimmick. People got behind it. Therefore, you were pushed. Do you not understand this? Just be quiet. Sit down. All you're doing is exposing yourself more and more. Next.
Well, I mean, it makes the thing about it is you're sitting here projecting, and that's how I feel. And yes, I've taken a few psychology classes. I know about projecting, but that's the thing is now you're sitting there projecting. You don't think that everybody gets stabbed in the back and any business whatsoever. What makes wrestling any different?
Oh, well, let's see. How about we count the knives in my back? That's almost everybody. So you know what? Keep going. Your question is quite irrelevant in this situation.
Now,
Go
is
on.
it because it's irrelevant, or is it that you're afraid to answer?
I'm sorry. Would you like to play NYPD Blue? All right. Go ahead. We'll do this. Afraid to answer? No. Everybody that I have ever worked with or have tried to tag team with, stabbed in the back. You got Bembe Kirex. You got Tyler Hydroconis. You had Brackman Wilder, who left me out on my own. You had Tony the Tiger, who just decided to up and leave, leaving me alone. Caden Hydroconis, who left me alone. Ludian Graves, who tried to take over the spotlight from me in the Royal Regime. So you know what? You want to sit here and talk about how I'm afraid? No. I'm trying to move on. So you want to keep going there? Or would you like to take the spotlight that you're shining right in my face off?
I'm not shining anything in your face there, Benja. I'm just sitting here trying to conduct an interview, not an interrogation. You're the one that's taking it that way. But here's the thing that really it gets me is you're saying management this, management that, but yet you have yet to say that I need to or it's my fault. That's where it kind of gets that point. You're projecting everything onto management, and yet, you know, you don't take anything for you don't take any fault for yourself. At least when I make a mistake, I at least admit to it. As we have another question coming in from Twitter is, so do I get a title shot now? I haven't held the world title yet. Where's my shot? Oh wait, I don't bitch about it.
That's because you're the United States champion. You still have a title belt on your waist. When you lose it, then come talking. Next.
As going on, it's as you can see, a lot of fans are meeting you with hostility.
Oh boy.
And well, I mean, coming in from that's the thing I'm not understanding. You pulled such a 180. As now another question coming in from Twitter going, you trying to be me, saying controversial stuff, so people talk? Doesn't work like that. People could care less about you. Oh boy.
And the only way that you try to get over is to powerbomb a 55-year-old person. Next.
which is a very good point. You're at least staying out there, and I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I'm not saying what you're saying is right. It just it feels to me like you're projecting, and that's all. That's just my opinion. So it doesn't really amount to really anything. But coming in, I mean, you sit here and say that you turned the 180 because you did something for yourself. Don't you think though might have been a different way you could have went about it, especially doing it yourself?
You know, I only do things for myself from now on. And you know what? I don't really care what people have to say or improvements or anything like that because I got everything that I need. Next.
Well, another question coming in from Twitter going, hey, but you do you. Maybe one day you'll make it. You've been a rookie your whole career. I think that's a sign you need to leave. And I'm not exactly sure who said that at this point.
Oh, it's the same person. Same person. You know what? They have their opinion and they're entitled to it because they have that freedom. But you know what? Do you want to talk about me doing me? At least I don't bring non-people into wrestling and put them through tables and act like that I'm some Billy Badass because I take a senior citizen and cripple them. But that's okay. You want to get involved in women's matches and make sure that women win? Yeah, what a great person you are. Clap, clap. Are we done here?
Yes, we are done. We are finished. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, folks. I'd like to thank you, Benja, for coming out here and, having this time with us. But folks, be sure that you are here every week at VWE Live, where, we give you an update on all things that are VWE, and, once in a while have a special guest. So until next time, make sure you join us at prime time at Wednesday, 5 p.m. SLT, Edge, which is Friday, 6 p.m. SLT, and of course Pulse, which is Sundays, 1 p.m. SLT. So until then, I've been your co-host for this episode of VWE Live, the most recognized voice in SL Sports Entertainment today, the voice of Detroit, Natasha Grimmore.
And I've been the voice of sanity herself, Myra Murdoch.
And until next week, folks, good fight, good night.